Welcome to this second video analyzing The Neon Demon, film by Nicolas Refn from 2016. We left it at the bathroom scene where Sarah, when Sarah had this first impulse of drinking Jesse's blood. After that, we have is just an informative, just a scene that just tells us that Ruby moonlights as a mortuary, has a second job. After that, we go to the moment in which Jesse's hurt. She goes to the hotel. She sees that we can see that she's afraid of the hotel manager. Finally gets she's bleeding, right? She gets to the room, and just at the moment when Dean goes and appears with some flowers to date her, she passes out, and we have this beautiful image in which both the flowers, which represent beauty and young beauty, and herself fall down at the same time. Beautiful image. Okay, then there appear, while she's passed out, there appear three images. Okay, the first one is what I call the Neon Demon image, which is this image of the three triangles. Okay, now if you think that the Neon Demon is actually a demon, you could think that this is it. To me, those three triangles, or you could also think that those are three triangles, which are Ruby, Gigi, and Sarah, of course. To me, as I think that the most interesting option for this movie, the best version of it or interpretation of it, is that the Neon Demon is the city, the industry plus all the trappings of beauty that make people trapped in this industry. In an interview, Elle Fanning was saying that for a moment she thought that the Neon Demon was the city of LA, so which pretty close. Okay, as I think that this is the best interpretation. You can find in a triangle a lot of things. First of all, it's a hierarchy. Therefore, it is the hierarchy of the industry, but it's also the hierarchy of beauty. Okay, for these people, beauty is everything. Okay, so you have that image. Then you have the image of the triangle plus diamond shape. Okay, but that we will see in Jesse's transformation later. Triangle, again, hierarchy plus the diamond. Diamond is something precious. Okay, and the third one, so I think it foretells her transformation. And the third one is this image in which there's the paper wall and then some fingers. Okay, which foretells the attack that the girl next door was victim of, and she could have been also a victim of. Now there's also the opinion that those that think that those three are witches, that this would be a dream sent to her mind so that she would close the door, or that she would be warned. And there's also the idea that in my part, it's just a premonition. Okay, these things happen, especially in movies. Then we go to the next scene that we will listen to, which is when Dean goes to see the hotel manager.
Are you the manager?
Depends who's asking.
My friend says she owes you some money. Room 212?
Oh, the Wildcat. That's some real hard candy. Know what I mean?
Beg your pardon?
What are you, a Mormon?
No, sir.
You're the DPH?
No.
Because we passed our last inspection. I can show you the paperwork if you want.
She said she owes you for the damages?
I should charge her for emotional distress. You know how long it took to get that thing out of here?
Well, I don't think she should have to pay.
That's so.
Yeah, I mean, technically it wasn't her fault.
Not her fault. Who do you think left the sliding door open?
Yeah, but I don't see how that makes
Was it you?
No.
Sure as hell wasn't me.
How much?
New door, plus labor, at least 100. Or was it 2?
I have 140 in cash.
Sold.
Is there a pharmacy around here?
Why? She sent you out for tampons too?
You know, you got a real attitude problem, you know that?
I'm just being friendly. Just want to make sure you're getting something out of this deal. Because if you're not, got plenty of the girls here. Take a peek in room 214 if you get a chance. Rented this week to a girl from Sandusky, Ohio. Runaway, 13 years old. Real Lolita shit. Real Lolita shit. Room 214. Gotta be seen.
In interviews, Refn and Elle Fanning say that in this movie, this is a woman's movie made, based on a woman, which it is undoubtedly, and that men play a secondary role. They are like the girlfriends of the woman in other movies. This is not entirely true. This dualism between Dean and hotel manager is very potent. Dean is the archetype of the protector. Okay, you could say a patriarchal father figure. Okay, he wants to date her. He hasn't tried to abuse her without her consent. He's taking care of her after this scene, etc. The hotel owner is the opposite. He's a scoundrel. He runs a hotel that is a hotel where they take runaway children, girls from, in this case, Sandusky, Ohio, and they abuse them. So they're diametrically opposed. And also, Dean is the last link that that Jesse has to a wholesome, normal, functional world. Okay, while the hotel owner belongs to this world of dodgy LA, which is very, 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 it's consequent, and it's related to the world of the neon demon that she intends to enter. Okay, so it is paradox. She wants to get into the world that causes things like this hotel manager. Next scene is the makeup stations scene, in which we'll see the interaction between Gigi and Jesse.
Jesse? What are you doing here?
They told me to wait
For what?
for makeup.
You're in the show.
Yeah.
This show.
Yes.
That's my chair. Well, you certainly move fast.
What do you mean?
You must be fucking him. Sarah doesn't let just anyone walk his collection.
I don't think I'm his type.
Why not? You're very masculine. I bet they made you do the casting. I didn't have to. I just come in and choose what I want to wear. But I'm not sure about the makeup this year.
I think you look perfect.
Yeah. Well, flattery will get you everywhere. You want to know what I had done, don't you? Well, I thought I'd get more work if I went down a cup size, so I'd look like a hanger, you know? But then my surgeon, Dr. Andrew, he pointed out a lot of other problems with my body. So I had them shave my jaw, I had a slight eyebrow lift, new nose, cheeks, inner and outer lipo. Oh, and they pinned my ears.
Why?
So I could wear a ponytail.
Didn't it hurt?
Anything worth having hurts a little. Besides, nobody likes the way they look.
I do.
Hey, Jesse. They want to see you.
I already had my fitting.
I'm just messenger.
I've decided you're gonna close the show.
Okay, so Gigi continues with her way of confronting the rising star of Jesse by being dismissive of it, by not believing it. She gets like real angry and starts to she says she must be fucking him, and at the end she wears as a badge of honor all the cosmetic things she's done to herself, and the final blow comes from Jesse, the final insult, saying I do like how I look, which is up to also to the point of natural beauty. We see by the way, I love these movies, these musics that Nicolas puts in these places, and it's almost like a video game. And they start the Robert, the Zionist, says you're gonna close the show, which I guess is the highest position. And we see them queuing towards the scene, and we can see the moment that is equivalent as Sarah realizing that she's lost against Jesse. It's for Gigi is when she's turning back at Jesse at the last position, which is the top one, because she's closing the show. Is like the point of defeat. Okay, it's like you can't argue with that. Okay, none of the others they're looking forward, all of them, but she's looking back, saying, "Oh, actually." You can dismiss this however you want, but the reality is that you've lost. From that point onwards, she would be up for what they will do later. Let's go to the show itself. We see what we see when the transformation happens is what Jesse is seeing. And it's both, it could be both part of the show, but it's also what's happening it's the representation of what's happening inside her. Okay, we see, of course, the transformation from the blue diamond to the red diamond. Okay, that's transformation itself. There's some triangles in pink, which could be called the ambivalence, right? Because it's between red and blue. We see her kissing the that's like well, you could have a Weinstein like reading of it, but I think that the point of the movie is that it's actually Jessie doesn't need that because of her beauty is just surpassing whatever it's a standard. So in that case, it's more like embracing the trappings of the neon demon. Okay, and we have this whole transformation, and you can see that she's looking at it because she's both a spectator and actor of this transformation. After that, we can see that she enters the diner already looking different. Okay, with the different not only look but her demeanor is different, and she grabs the hand of Dean, and we're going to look at the scene.
The portage of the head like
Hi.
the brass cannon.
I want you to meet my friend. This is Dean.
Hi.
Your name is Bean?
No, Dean.
Dean.
Dean, yeah.
Dean, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Well, come join us, have a drink. Sit down.
I don't think there's room for two.
That's all right. We can just sit over there.
Now, set the teeth and stretch the nostril wide. Hold hard the breath and bend up every spirit to his full height. On!
So on and so forth.
Wow. Did you always want to be an actor?
Well, performing always came naturally to me because I'm a creator. Right? I build, I make, it's in my blood. So whether I'm designing a collection or creating a character, it's all the same, right?
I went out for a film last week.
Oh yeah, how'd it go?
They said my face didn't match my voice.
Oh, you can fix your face.
No, don't do that.
Why not?
Because you can always tell when beauty is manufactured. And if you aren't born beautiful, you never will be.
That's terrible.
No, that's true.
I don't think you can always tell.
Dean, we're having a little debate over here and we need your expertise.
Okay.
You know Gigi, right?
Well, I mean, we just met.
Wait, will you stand up so that he can take a look at you? Go on, stand up. Well,
Well, what?
what do you think? Do you think she's beautiful?
I don't know. I mean, yeah, I guess she's fine.
Yes, that's exactly the word that I was looking for. She's fine, right? You can sit down now, thanks. Thank you, Dean. Now, look at Jessie. Nothing fake, nothing false. A diamond in a sea of glass. True beauty is the highest currency we have. No, without it, she would be nothing.
I think you're wrong.
Excuse me?
I said I think you're wrong.
Well, so you're gonna tell me that it's what's inside that counts?
Yeah, that's exactly what I think.
Well, I think that if she wasn't beautiful, you wouldn't have even stopped to look. Beauty isn't everything, it's the only thing.
want to go.
So go.
Okay, let's analyze this. This is the core of the movie, okay, of the idea of this film. Actually, what the designer is reciting is a part of Henry V of Shakespeare. That's a reference that one of the other reviews that I looked picked on, which could have been impossible for me. And in that Shakespeare text, the character says something akin to, okay, so guys, pay attention because this is actually the core of this work. In here is the same. Okay, in this scene, the designer Robert is explaining the movie. I don't think it's necessary. It would be necessary to tell us because it's pretty obvious. Okay, but nevertheless, that's what happened. Gigi is just to her out of the way. This is the moment in which this adding insult to injury. She's already defeated, and not only that, but Robert in front of her tells her that her beauty is not good. That the one that's good is the one of Jesse. She says you can't always tell. Yes, you can always tell. She puts her as an example, and at the end she looks like that, like, dude, you're insulting me in front of you, right? Not only that, but Jesse enters with Dean, and she deduces, okay, so not only is she beating me at my work, but she's actually she has someone, okay, and it's a confirmation that she's fucking this guy, not she thinks, okay, not not Robert. And therefore, she's on a professional level. She's not really doing what she said on the station makeup station scene, right? In which she said, "Oh, you must be fucking him," and she started then to insult Jesse, saying, "You're very masculine," and things like that. Okay, on the part of Robert, he basically explains, okay, that everything is a natural beauty is everything. Okay, and you can see that he's very honest because he's upset at the end when when he says beauty is the only thing. You can see that he's actually upset to having to do that point. Okay, we see that Dean loses with Robert because he's again he's more wholesome and everything, but in terms of beauty, of course, the professional's gonna beat you. We see that Jessie with the "so go," which is the only thing that she says after the beauty diatribe, is basically the new Jessie after the transformation. She's not says "so go." She's not "so go." Her demeanor is different. Also, she looks way worse than before. If you look at Jessie when she's like beautiful, because the actress is very beautiful at her natural state. You can see that she looks amazing at her natural state, and then she is already transformed. She looks beautiful, but as a supermodel would. Okay, there's something ugly about supermodels. There's a joke by Bill Maher that says that supermodels look like trannies, and in a way that they're perfect, but at the same time, um, there's something artificial. It doesn't appeal to a man's desire, really. There's that movie that's called Tangerine, in which it's about some trannies, and they take care of themselves perfectly, and they, one of them not, but the other one you could think that she's a woman, and the whole movie is that, and at the end of the movie, there appears a normal, beautiful girl, no makeup, no absolutely anything, and absolutely destroys in terms of beauty the other two ones. There's something in the originality, in the freshness, youth of a young woman that trumps every artificial thing that could be there. Okay, so it reminds me of that. There's also this phrase of a diamond in a sea of glass, and all the different mirrors that are all throughout the movie. Also the diamond, that diamond we have seen, etc., etc. Okay, now when she leaves the restaurant, she goes to the diner, she goes to the hotel. We find Dean there, and we find, look at the colors. Okay, it's all bathed in blue. Okay, and how she looks, rather. Okay, and then we have this good line that I don't want to be like them, they want to be me. Okay, it's a very good line in which she says that she went automatically into this world and went to the top straight. Okay, and Dean is dismissed forever. Okay, he her last link to a normal functional reality has disappeared, and she's totally taken by her own narcissism and the neon demon. Next scene is the dream scene.
Water. Water.
Just after dismissing Dean, she starts to dream weird things. You could think that it's a warning in case you think that those three are witches. Basically, she starts to have a weird dream. She then we have the attack on her neighbor, let's say. Okay, presumably this 13-year-old girl. We don't know specifics, but I think it's pretty clear it's going to be a rape. We also have this image in which she's against the paper wall, against the wall, while we hear the conversation with Ruby, and the image zooms out, and there's less and less paper wall, flower, innocence, and more shadows. Okay, so think about it. She's embraced the demon, the neon demon, and automatically the shadows cover all her universe. Okay, if she would have if that would have happened before her transformation, probably the call would have been to Dean, right? Is the one that she knows more. she knows that he's safe. He's a good guy. Instead, the call goes to Ruby. Okay, and Ruby takes her to the mansion. When you can see that she's putting makeup for Jesse. We have this line of I'm not going out. Are you going out? No, I'm not going out. Stay as long as you as long as you like. She's putting her hair correctly. Is fixing her hair. In a woman, that means that she wants to be attractive. Okay, when men they do they put the tie to look good. Women they touch their hair even if it's already good. They just it's like it's body language, right? And when she has an opening, when she starts, Jessie goes close to her, and she starts saying, "Oh, you're really wonderful. You're such beauty." And Ruby makes a move. Okay, we got the moment in which Jessie confesses that she's a virgin, and Ruby takes it as a good thing, or as as a prize, let's say, and she's not deterred at all, and she's rejected finally. So if she decides that if she's not, if Jess is not sex, she'll be food. As the other two are already on board, Sarah and Gigi are already on board. Okay. Now we can see a tiger in the background when she decides that. Okay. So we have, remember, we have our natural beauty, the live mountain cat. And now we've got a stuffed animal. Okay. When you're already in the neon demon, and the tiger is a hunter, right? So she's gonna hunt them, and later on there's a stuffed wolf, okay, and the wolves hunt in a pack. There's also now at the end of the corridor, which has all sorts of esoteric meanings, starting by the US dollar. There's plenty of esoteric meanings there, and Jessie, when she wakes up, she found the house empty. She also passes through the tiger. Okay. Then we'll see the necrophilia scene, which I will not put here because of I don't know how YouTube will react to that. But the necrophilia scene is very iconic, and there's a very funny interview with Nicolas winning Refn that in he says, and I asked her to spit in her mouth, and she did. It's just very funny. I'll put a couple of links on the description of the best interviews that I think that that I've selected for somebody that wants to follow up that. In one of them, you have to. There's a political part for some reason that you can skip and go straight to the end, where the good stuff is. And then we'll see that beautiful moment in which Jessie makes her makeup, and she's doing her own makeup and is in a full narcissistic mode. Let's look briefly at that. You can see she's in full narcissistic mode. She's making, putting makeup, not for anyone, not for any show, just for herself. She's admiring her own beauty. She's given a bluish, greenish, I don't know, some color turquoise, something like that. I don't know colors. I'm not a woman, but some color like that, rather than a red or a dress. So does that mean that she's no longer object of sexual desire? Okay, because she's already being. The whole thing looks like she's being prepared and she's preparing herself for sacrifice. Okay, it has this this feeling. Then there's the moment in which she goes to the swimming pool, the trampoline, and Ruby appears there, and she does all this diatribe about how what's wrong with being that beautiful, and other women carve and stuff to try to be second-rate version of her in front of a woman. So she's actually unwillingly probably insulting her. Okay, maybe not that unwillingly, knowing her. They say that pride cometh before the fall, right? Then we got the chase. Sarah brutally gives the first blow. We see this door to the red. Danger in this case, not sex or red is also danger. And we have this powerful image of the three. Okay. Renegade Cat says that those resemble the three weird sisters from Macbeth. I'm not that clever, but they have certainly a powerful image. Gigi looks actually like some sort of terror horror movie doll, something like that. Is this image with the three, again, rule of three, a woman, it's very powerful, I think. She's pushed. Originally, she was pushed by Sarah in the script. Okay, so but Ruby, during the course of the filming, has gained, probably because Malone is very good, is a powerful presence, has gained weight. She's just losing blood at the bottom of the pool, and the other two, the three women came. Then we have this scene of the carnage, which I will not put in here because, again, YouTube, I don't know how they're gonna react on that. But she's bathing in a Ruby is bathing in a bath full of blood. Again, shout out to Foundflix here that discovered a reference to a killer in the 16th century that used to bath in the blood of her victims precisely to retain her youth. Okay, which is what they might be thinking that they do it. So again, in my opinion, there's nothing magical per se here. Is it's undermined, but that nevertheless explains what is happening. Um, and one can only wonder if when Ruby's looking at the two models washing the blood of their skin in the shower, if she has had sex with the two of them, okay, one wonders. Then we have this image also in which she's sitting in the sofa and we have this wolf on the background again, hunting in a pack. And then we have all these after carnage scenes in which she's watering the plants. Where we see what I'm being, I'm not a specialist, but I'm being told are occult tattoos on the skin of Ruby. We have this issue about this contrast between the plant, I mean, the innocence and freshness, and herself. We have the same contrast when she's actually, I think, smoking on the grave to be of Jesse. The image is surrounded by flowers, and then we go to the night ritual. Okay. Now here could have several interpretations. The movie, if you think the thing is magical, it's a ritual. There's the eye, the moon, where you can clearly have an image of a god that she's worshipping, or a devil that she's worshipping, or something like that. You could think that she's processing Jesse, okay, in a way that Gigi will not be able to later. Okay, the music that it's applying here allows for a supernatural explanation, even though it's not my favorite way to interpret this movie. Okay, there's also the thing that Fanflix thinks that he basically took the blood of Jessie, the young blood, and she's expelling her old blood. I don't think we have evidence that she drank a bunch of blood from Jessie. That would be a bit excessive, okay? But this idea that Ruby is has been alive for hundreds of years just by killing people, I don't buy it. Okay, or at least it's not the explanation that I think gives the most to the film, like the most interesting way to look at it. I think it's more interesting if you think that there's nothing magical, though. Although in my way of interpreting things, this is probably a hard scene to interpret. Okay, it's too much blood to be menstruation, I think. She could be dying because in the original script, Sarah kills Ruby. So Ruby is not to survive that. Only Sarah, which is another incarnation, okay, of the Neon Demon. Another is as cold as Jack, the photographer, and as cold as the lady in the agency. Okay, is the one that survives. Okay, that's the thing. And we move to the last scene in the house.
My girlfriend, she hasn't worked in months. I mean, I keep telling her, girl, you need to retire.
Right.
Once you hit 21 in this industry, you're so irrelevant.
Try 20.
Yeah, true. She won't listen.
Of course she won't.
No. I mean, she's so desperate. The other day, she went uptown. She was trying to buy this baby seal fat from this random woman. What, you think that's funny?
No, I don't.
You ever had a girl screw you out of a job?
Yes.
So what'd you do about it?
I ate her.
Ew. Gross.
Okay, so we have the setup. They're in the house. Gigi and another younger model they're being prepared. That Sarah is just waiting. And the younger model teases them both by saying, "Well, after 21, you're irrelevant." And the guy that's making the makeup says, "More 20." After, behind this idea that Refn has, that standards of beauty make um, the um, the the age of what's considered the ideal to go lower and lower and lower. Okay, so this particular idea that he has, and of course we have this look that Gigi gives Sarah after saying that she ate her. Okay, which could be like frightful, but like saying don't make jokes about that because Jewish actually did it, but more like a also discomfort. She's extremely discomfort. Um, she's not okay. Let's look now at the interaction that Jack has with Sarah. Jack's not happy how the image look. What's the session? How is it going? And he's going to look for Sarah and take her instead of this new younger model. Let's see how they interact.
Don't know you. What are you doing here?
I'm waiting for my friend.
I'd like to use you for this. Would you be okay with that? Annie, you're fired.
Okay, so we have Neon Demon on Neon Demon here. Okay, Jack that he's so absent, almost autistic. You know, is out of this world, just on his obsessive look for images and his work. Doesn't even realize that he slept with her before, and has this coldness on him and on her part, the exact same coldness at the way that she says yes and it would be okay, and then she almost smiles but even controls herself, don't even smile. It's full of details. It's very nice. Okay, then the shoot proceeds. Gigi feels bad, goes there. Sarah follows, and it turns out that Gigi cannot process Jesse. In order is Ruby cannot process Jesse dies in the script, and I think that here that's my version of it. Then Gigi cannot process her and die, and Sarah totally can. Not only can she process Jesse, but actually picks up the eye and eats it. Okay, Gigi kills herself, etc. And that's the end of the movie strictly. Okay, you could there's this thing about that the eye of Jesse It's so pure, this innocent. It's killing. It's Gigi. I think that it's not. I think it's just it's the awfulness of what she did. But there's something to it, as insofar as an eye would not come out of somebody after so many hours without having been digested. Therefore, there's something of a horror paranormal that at least some hint. Then we got the credits. We got this music by Sia, and we have this terrain that it's dry, it's like a desert. Okay, look at this image; it's also very beautiful until the end. The whole credits, you got this all these colors going down the back of models. It's very beautiful. Again, could have meaning, could not have meaning. There's a lady walking on a desert. That could be, for instance, Sarah having been gotten rid of the competition. Could be. There's this music, and at the end there's a sunset. And a sunset, I interpret it as the end of things, the end of life, end of beauty, and therefore of the inevitability of losing your beauty, and therefore your worth as a woman. Actually, this is in the mind of these people. Okay, the value of people is intrinsic in themselves, and in sociologically, as men progress to their worth in social value as per wealth, women have these two phases of which is like beauty and then motherhood. Okay, it's like two bumps of social worth. So you could have like this sunset of saying whatever, this attaining this beauty is inevitable lost cause, because inevitably there's a sunset. Okay, now just to recap, the movie is excellent. I think I like it very much, and it's not it's less brainy than it looks like. It's not difficult to decode. Just to recap, Refn has done a lot of other movies. I like Drive, particularly. It's not maybe worth to make a video it, but certainly recommend it. He has this theory that because of technology, the movie scene or the art of cinema is going back to art after being part of the business world, and therefore he's doing these kind of movies which are very impactful. They want to push reaction into people, right? It's a bit like the Buñuel's eye, right? And that's what he's doing. Okay, he's obsessed that with how teenagers look at things, okay, and how they interact themselves in social networks, and therefore how they this narcissism as something accepted rather than shamed. Okay, that's why he makes a movie about that, and also the way that the movie looks, it's very it's unashamedly pornographic. He considers himself a pornographer, at least a pornographer, at least at this later stage. He's, as an artist, he's certainly hitting the spot, and we at least I'm very, very eager to see what he does next. Okay. Because he's doing the right things and all the right moves here. I'm gonna add a couple of, as I said, a couple of links in the description, and that has been The Neon Demon by Nicolas Refn. Very nice movie, and I'll see you in the next review.